Wanted to talk to everyone about our adoptions, our foster process, and basically when it comes to the safety of the dogs and what you're actually engaging in when you take one of our dogs into your care. For those that have followed us for a long time probably know that we pretty much take the dogs that nobody else wants. I watch the youth lists, and the puppies go quickly, the ones that are super adoptable, dog friendly, but it's the dogs that nobody steps forward for. If we don't pull them, they will die, and that's the bottom line. So what does that mean when you're taking a aggressive dog into your home, such as one of the dogs that are upstairs in our suites or in boarding? That means that essentially we're trusting you with their safety. And not only their safety, for your safety and your family's safety. So if we say that a dog is dog aggressive, that means that basically they've done multiple dog-on-dog tests where they have been reactive. Now, I don't even know how to say this, just trust us when it comes to something like that, because we would never say something if we didn't believe that it was for your safety and for the dog's safety. We use trainers. We always have trainers available and staff on hand, our foster team, our adoption team. But the most important thing that you can do is communicate with us, listen to us, the behaviors that we know about them. I think that it's incredibly important to understand that what we know about this dog sometimes is only from a 3-minute video that we watch at the shelter, and then their past is only God knows. So we take them for who they are today, and we love them as they are, with the expectations that they're not going to be perfect, that it's up to you to go above and beyond to make sure that they're safe and that your family is safe.
My name's Brielle. I'm a dog trainer here at Always and Forever. I work with the barn dogs upstairs and downstairs. I work out at the boarding facilities, and then I also do in-homes for adopters and fosters. Yeah. So dog training for me, personally, I like to look at the individual dog and the behaviors they're exhibiting in their own environment. So that's why I like doing in-homes or observing the dogs wherever they're at. I'll take them out. My method is to go out and use play. So with that, I have this giant cat toy. I have a start word, a stop word, and a pause word. And so you can use all these words as rules in your game and also outside of the game in your day-to-day life. Helps them transition into homes or help with those nuisance behaviors and stuff like that. So if you're fostering an only dog, that's what Always and Forever calls them. They aren't good with other dogs. Really what you should do just to try to manage it is learn their triggers. Boundaries would be a better word. Learn their boundaries. Because if you can learn their boundaries, you can be an advocate for them. You can say, hey, no, listen, my dog doesn't like it when people come up and pet over their head. They're really nervous, so can you please pet under, like on their chest? It's more of a safe thing for them. Stuff like that, just learning the dog itself, because every dog is different. Every dog has different traumas, different pasts, so every dog learns different. Especially with our upstairs dogs, it's not that they're bad dogs, it's not that they're going to see a dog and immediately attack them kind of a thing. You have to learn their boundaries. You have to learn about them, just like you would say like a spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, something like that. You have to learn kind of what makes them tick. They're 100% worth adopting. These aggressive dogs or dog-only dogs, they take time to win over. That's all it is. And once you win them over, oh my gosh, they are all about you. You are their person. And you want a dog to get excited when you come home from work. Oh my gosh, these kids, especially these pitties, they will snuggle up in your lap and they will just love you forever and ever. And yeah.
I'm Michaela, and I am a trainer for Always and Forever. I train most of the upstairs dogs, which are the more dog aggressive ones, and The ones from the boarding facilities, those are often the ones that are dog aggressive as well. A big part of what I do is just training them to stop the nuisance behaviors that they have. So a lot of them, they have high prey drive, they bark at other dogs when they see them, they're pulling a lot on the leash, things like that that people don't want to deal with a dog. My biggest thing is just getting them to learn how to live life and be normal. One of my most favorite things about working with the dog-aggressive dogs is just seeing them change and being able to see them control that prey drive and that urge to do those things and to make the right choice instead. It makes me happy to see them like actually make that decision in their mind to do the right thing. So a lot of times the dogs here are just dog selective, and when we tell people that, we really want them to take it seriously, because dogs can be fine 1 minute and then they can be triggered by something, like even just food being too close. Some dogs don't like even sharing somebody's affection. So just take our advice. If we tell you a dog is a certain way, it's better to be safe than sorry. And we know these dogs better than people do when we adopt them out. So that's just one thing we really want people to consider is we will help you. We'll help you intro your dogs. We don't need you to do it by yourself and then have a failure, you know? It's much better to just ask for help and have it done safely and even have a success.
From the very beginning, it's making sure that we're finding the best foster or adopter for these dogs. And we think of them like our very own pets. We get attached to them, we love them, and we want to make sure that they're going to the very last home that they have to go to, since they've been bounced around so much. So it is very personal to both of us. You know, a lot of us don't sleep. We stay up and wonder where these guys are going to go. We're absolutely transparent, upfront, and as honest as we can be. I mean, everything that we know, we're bringing that to them. And from our knowledge and experience from other dogs and our past experiences is that listen to us. We know what we have experienced with other dogs that have had, you know, bad experiences, or they have a past, or trying to learn what triggers are, especially dogs that have to be the only dogs in the home. These are dogs that have severe abuse, neglect. Just like people, they also have these demons that they're fighting almost, that they have to get over certain things. If you're not able to sit down in the mud with them and actually go through these deep, dark secrets that they have or that they're trying to fight, then these dogs probably aren't the ones for you. Because like I said, we're really kind of getting the dogs that have the worst stories and the worst possible scenarios that they need people to go through with them.
It's honestly just being very open about it. You know, we don't know everything about them, and sharing with them that we don't know. And this is what we have been told, but making sure that they're fully aware of that, you know, these dogs, they came from a shelter, you know, or an owner surrender. We don't know their whole past, but we are trusting them with their future, and making sure that they understand all of that.
So I'm fostering Flint. So Flint's story is he was dropped off at a kill shelter. He had a family for 3 years. He has a bite history. Brought him into my home. I do have a home where I can separate my pack from a dog that needs to be kept away from other dogs. Now, is it easy? Absolutely not. He's not a fan of my husband. It took a while for him to get used to my daughter. We have to rotate them out. They can never be out together. It takes a lot more work. It affects my family dynamic. It affects my daughter having friends over. We have to communicate on a level of making sure that, hey, I'm getting ready to let Flint out. Make sure our group is put up. That's not, are you gonna jump on her? Okay. So there's a lot of communication. There's a lot of, you know, effort that goes into that, but it also keeps Flint safe. It keeps him in a home environment. It's watching him and making sure that he is calm, and we can work with him as well. We have a trainer that comes in and is working with him and his issues. You know, he has some dark-seated issues. Somewhere along the line, he's been abused. He's had something happen to him in his past. So you need fosters that are able to put in that work. I know that he can never be with my pack. So I have to know that. There's no letting my guard down or becoming comfortable. I know at all times that he has to be left alone, and he has to find a home, that he'll be the only dog, and that he'll have to have a family that will protect him as much as they're gonna have to protect themselves and other people and other dogs. So those are the types of fosters that we need.
And if we say, don't introduce your dog, your foster dog for, 3 days or 5 days or 10 days, please trust us. We're telling you that for a reason. We know these dogs and we know that they should not be introduced. They need a decompression time. They're going into a home. It's a whole new place for them. They need time just to go. If you have a room, if you have a kennel where they can just go and relax and not be introduced to the other dogs in the home, then that's key. And we always try to stress that, but then we always see that day people have introduced, to their dogs. So we really need to make sure that people understand that. Honestly, there's a whole slew of reasons, but a lot of it is that they're not listening to what we have to say. We try to tell them about the dog, we try to tell them about their behaviors, what they need. But like I said, they may go in and introduce their dog right away on the same day, and they get in a fight, and so they want to return them. So some of it is they're not getting along with their other pack or their kids, and it kind of goes back to not listening to what we have said and shared on what needs to happen when that dog goes into the home.
The philosophy is the dog always comes back to us. So again, that's a little bit different than most rescues. No matter the situation, we ask that the dog comes back to us and that we find the dog another home.
And we know things happen. We understand that things do happen when dogs go into a home. We totally understand that, but sometimes too it could be prevented by some of the things that we share or our trainers share with them.
That's what we're working for, is to make sure that they're all in a home, that they're loved, and when they're not, obviously they're here in the barn and they're getting unconditional love, and we're showing them what it's like to, be loved and cared for. And, it's the hardest part is obviously not being able to save them all, and not having the guarantee that where they are placed is going to be forever, because people do give up so much. And that's the thing that I would say is that with rescue dogs is that they've already been given up on. And so with a rescue, they need someone that's going to put in the work. And it is work. I mean, there's a lot of effort that has to go into loving and caring for them and allowing them to decompress. And, the introductions with cats and kids and other dogs is not a magical moment where it happens within seconds. This takes time. And a lot of people just don't allow that time to happen. So those are the people that we're looking for. Those are the people that we need. This is who they need.
She slapped her. She's like from Turner and Hooch.